Rykoff. He's the founder and CEO of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, and Adam Kinzinger, Republican congressman from Illinois. He is an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, still serves as a pilot in the Air National Guard. I have you both here to talk about the fallout from the VA scandal, Shinseki's resignation, and where things go. Congressman, let me start with you, though, on this key point about the release of the Taliban prisoners. As a member of Congress, a Republican, do you oppose what you just heard from Secretary Hagel and his rationale for releasing those prisoners?
Look, let me say this. Welcome home, Bowe. There's a lot of questions about why he got captured, as you tried to get an answer to that you did not get an answer to in terms of abandoning this post. So I'm going to celebrate him coming home. The release of 5 mid to high-level Taliban is shocking to me, especially without coming to Congress. It says in the law you have to notify Congress. And then putting 5 people potentially back on the battlefield, even though our troops are out in 2016, which I think is shocking that the president once again went along with a timeline just like he did in Iraq. You now are going to have 5 people potentially on the ground targeting American troops, Afghan troops, and the Afghan people. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked here. This whole exchange is shocking to me, and I'm very disappointed.
Paul, any veteran has to celebrate this moment when a comrade comes home. The question, though, about what happened here, walking off his post, the questions now about what happened to him in captivity, difficulty speaking English. What questions would you want to know more about?
Well, we just want to welcome him home. I mean, we have to underscore that point. This guy's been in captivity for 5 years. Most of America forgot his name or never knew it to begin with. And the veterans community, the military community has been tracking on this. So there's a more important message that's been sent to our forces, that we will always come for you. I was taught that in basic training. If you are captured, America will not forget about you, and we will come for you. And that's an important message to send to our troops now and forever.
Let me get right to the VA scandal. Here's what the president said. Shinseki's out. We got to make sure the veterans who are not getting the care, one by one, get the care. But there are needs. What specific needs are there right now that the government has to address?
Well, first of all, we got a clean house. I mean, the VA has a systemic problem, so we need a total turnaround. This is not something where we can middle around the edges. This has to be a national call to action, a defining moment for the president and for our country to finally step up and support our veterans. So who we name now will be key. It's unfortunate that we didn't have someone ready, given that the scandal took 4 weeks.
How is it that Shinseki didn't know? How did this bad news not get to him?
You know, I don't know. Yeah. We've been trying to tell him. There have been congressional testimonies. Me personally, every other veterans group in the country have been trying to warn him, trying to warn the president. The IG report has been supported by dozens of other IG reports, GAO reports. They didn't listen. And now is the time for us to turn the corner. Listen to our veterans, listen to their needs, and let's finally turn this around, because it's dogged our country for decades.
Congressman, I want to know the answer to that question, which is, Shinseki apparently didn't know, and that enraged him, as the president said the other day. But how didn't he know? That's the key part of this that you have to be wondering about as well.
Yeah, I think that is the key. I mean, a good leader knows what his subordinates are doing, and if he doesn't have control over his subordinates, he really gets in there and figures it out. And so I think that is a question. Look, I don't want to impugn the reputation of General Shinseki. He was a great guy, but I thought it was time for him to go to get new blood in there. And the new person, whoever in long term it ends up being, I want to see people fired. I want to see people prosecuted by the law for those that created this secret waiting list. That's what we have to do next. Clean house, as Paul said. We need to say, hey, those in the backlog, you can go to a private doctor. You can get some things taken care of. We have to get dead serious about this. This is not the end. This is the beginning of taking control of the VA.
There's been so much information. I want to put a graphic on the screen to remind our viewers about some of the key points here about the wait for care. This is what the Inspector General found. 1,700 veterans not even on an official appointment waiting list. An average wait of 115 days for first appointment. Hospital leadership, quote, significantly understated time that veterans waited for first appointment. Paul, your experience with veterans, is this a fair statement? They're happy with the care once they get it.
Yeah, quality care is generally good, but access to care has been horrible and continues to be horrible. And this is not an isolated situation.
And the needs are greater.
The needs are greater, and they're growing. This is not an isolated situation. The IG is investigating 41 other cities. So this scandal is very far from over. We need folks to know that now the fact that Shinseki's gone is a good step, but the new person has to be empowered. We need oversight. We need accountability. We need an influx of technology and talent, and we need America to stay focused. We're going to need their focus.
Well, focus, and this is a key question for Congressman, which is, are you prepared not just to see people fired and prosecuted? Are you prepared to vote to spend more money to give the VA more doctors, more resources to deal with this growing need?
Well, look, the VA budget is much higher than it was 10 years ago. It's going to continue to increase, and I think you'll see Congress that we've always put our military and our veterans above almost anything we do. It's so very important. So, yeah, you'll see a willing Congress. You've seen the chairman of the VA, Chairman Jeff Miller, has been very big on this, talking about access to care for veterans. But the key is, the answer is not just throwing more money at a problem. The key is holding people responsible that aren't having outcomes, getting to the bottom of what the problems are, and ensuring that they have the best quality of care. So we'll spend what we need to, but the answer isn't just to spend more money on a problem. The answer is to get real outcomes, and I think we can do that. And hopefully the new secretary and the president himself will take a keen interest in this, and we can see some results finally.
All right, Congressman Kinzinger, thanks so much. As always, Paul Rykoff as well.
Thank
Great
you,
to have you.